This study will take us into Matthew chapter 19 and verses 23 to 25. I will be reading from the original Living Bible, Matthew chapter 19 and verse 23. Then Jesus said to the disciples, "It is impossible for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven. I say it again, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God." This remark confounded the disciples. Then who in the world can be saved, they asked. In the last 40 years or so, approximately speaking, we have seen the emergence of China and India as economic superpowers. I'm old enough to remember taking classes in my final year of public school, where one of the courses dealt with the misery, economically speaking, that was India. That has completely changed within my working lifetime. We have seen the emergence of smaller Asian centers such as Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, and now Thailand. And these countries now have become economic powers in their own rights. Modern economies, vigorous, dynamic, countries that are able to supply and provide for the needs of their people. The growth of its wealth and its spread has raised millions out of abject poverty and alleviated people from lives of suffering and misery. The power of money to change nations and change people's lives is tangible, it is real, it is actual. And yet, money is becoming the next great god of this world. And money and the rise of the commercial class and consumerism is seeing herald the rise of the next great world religion. Money has always had an importance in the lives of people. What has changed is the way that money is available. Now, I can go back to when I first opened a bank account. When I first opened that bank account, banking hours were something like 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday to Friday. If you were not there when the bank was open and you did not line up to see a teller to get access, to gain access to your bank account, you could not get money. There were not ATMs, and on the weekend, there were no banking services to be had. Now there are ATMs, there is credit cards, there's cash back at grocery stores. The means by which I can access cash today is considerable. And in comparison to when I first opened a banking account, it is night and day. And this, of course, is not the world of Jesus. Jesus lived in a different world and therefore, we can argue, did not understand the good that money can do. And the reality is, many people, I think, approach Jesus' view on money. And I'm talking, of course, from within the church, that Jesus, well, he was in a different era. He didn't quite get it. When I say money is becoming the next great god, and the rise of the commercial class and of consumerism is becoming the next great religion, I'm not degrading the power and corruption that wealth has. I'm not somehow saying that we, and we alone in this day and age, are susceptible to the corruption of wealth, and the ancient world did not have it, or the medieval world, or any other era. No, I'm not saying that. I am saying that it has become even more so the case, but I'm also saying there is a way in which we can see that the rise of modern economics heralds the rise of the next great world religion. And that way, the growth of international finance is the growth of the next great religion. Now, the problem is when we think of religions is we can think in terms of religious terminology and therefore determine what a religion is by basis of religious terminology. But if you think of religion as homage to a power greater than yourself, or if you think of religion as having rules, enshrined rules and ways of doing things, if you think of religion as employing a cadre of people who know the rites and rituals, if you think of religion offering up the promise of nirvana, you see, in the church, we know how to defend the faith against Mormonism, Islam, Hinduism, Sikhism, Jehovah's Witnesses, Shintoism, animism, so on and so forth. But are we prepared to deal with the next great religion? Religions come, religions go. The religions of Jesus' day are largely gone. Greco-Roman Pantheon, gone. Mithraism, gone. The religions of ancient Egypt, gone. There is no guarantee that the world religions of the last few centuries will continue to go forth, or at the same time to somehow believe that we live in a post-religionist world and we're not going to see the rise of a new religion. And I would say to you, the next great religion is emerging. And how will we as a church address our message and our mandate to this great religion? On one level, we could say Jesus could not have seen what we are creating in our modern world through modern financial institutions. Jesus still understood the heart of man and the corruption of wealth. He understood that the pursuit of wealth, while it promises much, it delivers little. Now, I'm not saying that I begrudge the rise of living standards around the world. I do not begrudge the importance of what is happening to such problems as epidemic diseases or the threat that unclean water causes for people and their health. The growth of wealth will create great good, but it will also create great misery. Wealth promises much and delivers little. Yes, we need money at the grocery store and at the gas pump. Money is necessary, but wealth is not. The problem is that as the money supply grows, our understanding of wealth changes. I may have more money, but there are always others that have more still. Jesus made it very clear that the pursuit of money is dangerous to the faith. Are we as a church and a people heeding Jesus' warning on money and wealth in particular this day?